Hey guys, welcome back to Legend of Corncast. Talking about Four Swords and the other Four Swords.
The better one, kinda.
Well, yeah, that one's an actual game. Four Swords is not a game. That's like a tech demo.
Yeah, what did it come with again? It came
Link
with
to the Past.
Oh yeah, on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
came with that.
Yeah, it was a 3-hour game.
And it's canon, isn't it? For some reason.
I think so.
In the Hyrule story, I think it's included.
I think it's canon, but it really doesn't do anything to be like, oh well, here's a story we're telling. It's just, hey,
here's where it fits.
There's a wind man. He is doing things. Stop him, please. Thank you.
It was free on the 3DS one time. And
Yeah, for a week.
And I was like, hey, I got it. I'm going to play it. Try it.
It was great because you actually play that one by yourself. You didn't need to hook up some Game Boys.
I played it for an hour and I'm like, wow, this is pretty bad.
You got a third of the way through it. It was unbelievable.
I was done.
I don't think it's that bad of a game considering it was a free game. I'm also slightly biased because this is my first Zelda game.
Four Swords was your first Zelda game?
It was one of them, yes. It was one of the first ones I owned because I got Link to the Past on the Game Boy for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And this was the first one I beat because Aaron also got the Four Swords.
So you both played together?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was okay until, the thing disconnected, as it would do because, link cables are not the best.
No.
Those things are very finicky.
Unless you're playing Pokemon.
Yeah, and even then, they're still finicky.
Yeah.
You slightly, you pull your hands back a little bit and boom, your Game Boy's now disconnected. Thank you.
That Gengar you wanted's gone.
Oh man, lost to the ether. Somewhere in the cord. Okay, but yeah, no. So Four Swords, the original, or Anniversary Edition, or whatever you want to call it, it's okay. It's not the... It's fine.
I've played it, but I could not tell you, for the life of me, what it's like. I know it's multiplayer, but I could not, for the life of me, tell you what it's about.
Basically, Vadi did something, I think. And you had to go to 3 different zones. The forest, the mountain, and the ice zone.
Is this essentially a part of the Vadi trilogy?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It might as well be. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't think there's any actual plot to it. I think it's just hey, look, there's Vadi. Well, there he goes. I mean, this was Vadi's first appearance, and he got to be in a weird game.
Is he trying to revive Ganon in this game?
I don't think so. I don't think he's trying to do that in the other game either.
I think he does try to revive Ganon, and coincidentally, there's another Four Swords game, Four Swords Adventures.
Ah, yes, the better one. And he's not trying to revive Ganon. Ganon is actually the one who... This is actually second Ganondorf. Second Ganondorf that frees Vadi from the sword using the Mirror of Darkness to trick Link into pulling the sword.
The Four Sword?
Yes, the Four Sword. The one that Vadi's been sitting in for a hot minute.
Favorite franchise, but I could not tell you the lore of the Four Swords games.
I mean, they're one-and-done games.
Yeah.
Especially with Four Swords Adventures, if you wanted to play a multiplayer, who's got Game Boys?
See, I have played and beaten Four Swords Adventures, once, because I used to own it. I played it by myself, which is you're not supposed to.
No, it's easier to play it by yourself.
Yeah, but it's not as fun, I bet.
It's not as fun, but if your friend's sense of fun is trying to screw you over, it's
because he can, because you have to collect the Triforce
Force gems.
Force gems, yeah. And then
and then Tingle shows up when you take too long.
He'll steal it, because I remember there was a couple levels where there was the huge Force gems, and those were worth 100 or 1,000.
I think 1,000.
And he would just come and try to pick it up, and he can't.
He's just like, well, I'm out of here, bye. Yeah, so speaking of Tingle, he's stuck under a rock in this game.
Which level?
In the first level.
Oh.
That's how he gets free. You pick up the rock.
And then he just trolls you for the rest of the game.
And he's like, haha, I'm free. Your money is now mine.
That's what he does for most of the game. What he does in most of the games is just steals your money.
More or less. Sometimes he gives you a map in return. This time he doesn't. He just wants your gems. Anyway, so
Oh yeah, I know you can also this was on the game Four Swords. The first one was on the Game Boy Advance. This one was on the GameCube, but it was compatible with the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, it was one of like the 6 games that used the Game Boy Advance in any capacity.
Yeah, and there were some parts where like you would have to like look between the TV.
That's only if you're playing multiplayer.
Yeah,
because if you're playing single player,
it would pop up on the screen.
Yeah, when you go into a room or a cave, it pops up on the screen.
I remember that. I was like, wait, this is weird. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, it's so, every player can see what they're doing at any given time.
I quickly learned when I played, I was like, hey, this is meant to be played by multiple people.
Mm-hmm. And then you get your friend who always gets the heart containers while you get the blue ring. Every single time. There was a time I'm like, okay, yo, you pick a chest. Okay, I'm taking that one. And then I still got the blue ring. I'm like, what is this bullshit?
I still thought the game was pretty fun, though, even though it was like it was kind of bullshit at some parts, though.
I don't remember anything being like too bullshit, but
did you say that?
Right. Part? Village of the Blue Maiden.
I don't remember why.
Because it's a long ass mission about you going in and out of the Dark World, and you can only go in and out of the Dark World in certain spots.
Oh.
And if you're playing co-op, your friend has to decide to leave the screen with you, otherwise you don't get to leave. And it's just really bad looking for these moon tears, and it's like,
yeah.
The sound of agony.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's not a very good level. It's very unintuitive. Other than that, like, everything else in the game seems reasonable.
I'm pretty sure it shares the same engine as Minish Cap. I think they both do.
I don't think engine. Graphics, yeah. Engine, probably not, because we're talking about a Game Boy Advance game and a GameCube game.
Well, that's kind of what I meant. It was like graphics.
Yeah. But... I mean, I think it shares the same graphics as the Four Swords Vanilla as well.
Mm-hmm. You could literally tell, like, hey, we made Minish Cap, now we want to make a multiplayer version of Minish Cap.
Except Minish Cap came after.
Did it?
Yeah. I am 90% sure Minish Cap came out after both the Four Swords. And I'm thinking they made Minish Cap just because people were like, well, what's the Four Sword? Where did it come from?
We need a lore for this.
I'm going to look it up right now. I'm pretty sure Minish Cap came out after all of that. November 4th, 2004.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Minish Cap was 2004.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Yeah.
Four Swords.
Four Swords might have been 2002, 2003.
Also 2004.
Oh.
March 18th. Huh.
I'm rusty on that.
Four Swords Adventures came out first. Weird. Wild, I know.
It's very wild.
I assume these were in development at the same time? I mean, I guess.
Probably.
It would explain a lot of things, actually. Well, yeah, because this one was Nintendo and Minish Cap was Capcom.
Yeah.
So, I guess that explains a little bit. But, yeah, there were some other... Wasn't there a minigame mode in Four Swords Adventures? I feel like there was.
You'd have to look it up because I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've played Four Swords Adventures.
Yeah, I don't... Yeah, Shadow Battle was a thing.
Oh.
And Navi Trackers, but that was only in Japan.
Yeah. What bosses were in this game?
Yeah,
there was a ton. In Four Swords Adventures.
Let's see. I know Valhalla from Wind Waker made it in for some reason.
I think King Dodongo's in it.
Yeah, let me pull up the I don't know. Yeah. I know you fight the same big night man several times. He's just like, I'm a big skull boy, and you're like, you're awful. Oh,
I don't want to fight this again.
Boo, you suck. Vadi, obviously.
Yeah, he's the main villain.
No, he's not. Ganon's the main villain.
Shh. Spoiler.
Ganon hijacked the plot yet again. Except that might have been the first time he hijacked the plot. Let's see.
There's not... Well,
I'm
Guardian of Death Mountain going.
I'm still having a hard time finding bosses.
Oh, yeah, that's I'm looking
yeah.
at Four Swords.
Yeah, Dodongo, Manhandla, Goma, Big Dodongo. Phantom Ganon apparently made an appearance.
Oh, yeah, guess who else is in this game? I just remembered. Dark Link. The Dark Links would just...
No, that's Shadow Link. God, don't you know anything?
Do they call him Shadow Link in this game?
I'm pretty sure it's Shadow Link and not Dark Link. Yeah, it's Shadow Link.
I just looked at it.
Because Dark Link is, I don't know, there's a difference apparently, not to be confused.
Gomas are in this game. Manhandlas return. I like what they did with the Manhandlas. How
they're color coded and awful.
Yeah.
I hate the Manhandlas, they're the worst.
I think you take damage if the wrong side hits the wrong code. Tunic Link hits a...
Yeah, and it makes it a real bitch because I want to hit the purple one, but the purple one's the only one left, so it's spinning really fast. I do like how they're just man, remember that boss from Wind Waker, Helm Rock King? Put him in. Remember Phantom Ganon? Put him in.
How would you like to fight all of these bosses from Wind Waker in 2D?
What the fuck is Frostair? I don't remember no Frostair.
I don't remember that either.
I'm looking at
Phantom Ganon, I didn't know he was in there. Well,
I keep saying he's in there.
I'm also looking at my phone.
Yeah, that's fair. I did the exact same thing back in the CDI games. Something about health pickups being hard to pick up, and then I came back. I'm like, yo, health pickups are hard to pick up. And you're like, yeah, I know.
All I remember from these games too is Shadow Link. I guess it's called Shadow Link in this game. Just throwing the giant bombs down.
You need to hide underground, otherwise you're gonna get blown up. Oh, that's the worst.
And I'm pretty sure if you were above ground when he did it, it was an instant kill.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was rude. It was rude as hell.
All he would do was just show up to play pranks on you.
Yeah. But
until you fought him.
But if you could hit him, you could steal his money. Because he's a big nerd.
Wow, or as he's called in this game, Big Dodongo. That design is just...
Not good, yeah, I know.
It's bad. He's seen better days.
Yeah, he's a little on the chuffy side.
Especially that mouth.
Yeah, he's kind of not great.
Stone Argus?
Yeah, Stone Argus. I think he's a Link to the Past boss.
Yeah. Yeah, this game just a lot of Wind Waker bosses.
Yeah, this game was kind of like, oh man, Wind Waker was pretty successful, huh? Maybe we could take some of those bosses. You just put them in and no one will know. We'll call Valhalla Big Poe and, it's whatever.
I mean, that is essentially just what he is, just a big Poe.
Yeah, but he has a name. The collection of them have a name. My favorite part was getting the golden gauntlets or whatever the equivalent was to power bracelet.
Oh yeah.
And just being like, I'm gonna pick up that tree. I'm gonna throw that tree. And then your friend who didn't get the power bracelet's gotta wait until you decided. Yeah, we're moving forward. Because I had the power bracelet. I get to choose when we go. Although I still remember getting picked up and thrown into several bottomless pits. Because my friends are assholes.
Oh yeah, you can just
pick up your friends and throw them in a pit. Who cares?
Your friends can just decide not to play the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, oh, all four of us have to stand on these switches. One guy can just be like, nope, not doing that.
What's in it for me if we stand on this switch?
I get that heart container and you get the blue ring.
Ugh. I don't even want to remember that. That's some bullshit. That's the worst one. It's just like, oh, here's the blue ring. I already have one. Here's another one. They don't stack.
That was the best part about playing single player is that you just get everything.
Yeah, I know. Everything's yours for the taking.
Oh, yeah. The worst part, though, I remember is when you get all the items, you can only hold one at a time.
Yeah, that's the part that sucks.
You can only hold arrows, or you can only have a bow or a bombs or a boomerang.
Yeah.
That's the thing I didn't like about it.
I mean, I guess it made sense. Like, no, it didn't make sense.
No. It wasn't like traditional Zelda.
I suppose you couldn't pause the game.
Imagine Link's Awakening with only being able to hold a sword or, like, a bow, but all the time.
No, that's good.
That was your inventory.
That's real good. Yeah, your inventory is one item. That's not your sword.
Yeah.
Real good. But you know what the best part about that game was?
What?
The part where you had to move that man's house.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just a flamethrower.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I forgot about that. I'm glad you remember this.
It's like, man, see that giant enemy over there? It'd be a real shame you had to fight him. Push a house on him. I was like, wait, what? Excuse me, what? Yeah, I was sick and tired of the earth shaking under my house, so I built my house without a foundation. Excuse me, what? Can you do that? Is that illegal?
I don't remember this game's Ganon fight. I know he has the...
Oh.
What's that called? Not a halberd.
It's a trident.
Trident, yeah.
The trident of darkness.
Yeah.
I think there's orbs that float around him, and like Zelda has to shoot the orbs. I don't know. I don't remember that all too well either.
I remember the fight just being like a clone of the Link to the Past fight.
It's more or less the same thing.
Except he's a lot bigger.
Yeah. He's a lot bigger and a lot less pixelated. Yeah, it was a good time.
And it's a lot less plot driven. Ganon, he just shows up. He's like, "Hey."
Well, no, you hear about Ganon's escapades throughout the game. Like there's the Dekus who are like, "Man, that Vadi guy, he sucks. Lord Ganon's where it's at."
Yeah, Ganon will always steal the plot.
Yeah, it's.
I will argue he really doesn't steal it in Twilight Princess. You hear about him several times throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, you hear about him several times he hijacks final boss status, okay?
Yeah.
That's what he does.
You know he uses Zant.
Yeah, but we'll get there next week or 2 weeks from now or sometime, not now.
I know. I'm just... You keep saying he steals the plot.
He does hijack the plot.
He hijacks final boss status. That's better wording.
Yeah, it's great. He just, like, oh, by the way, it's me.
The guy you wish you were fighting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got anything else to say about these two games? I know we're only like 17 minutes in and we could probably say more, but...
There's really not much to say.
I mean, yeah, it's mostly just here's some four-person puzzles.
It's not very linear Zelda. There's no really big story to them. It's just like...
Here's a collection of levels.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Oh, you didn't get the force power? Well, guess who gets to start over? It's you!
What do the force gems do? I completely forgot.
Oh, once you get to a certain collection, like 10,000 or so, you're allowed to leave the level.
Oh, yeah, that's what they do.
Otherwise, if you don't have 10,000, I think you have to go back. You have to backtrack.
Dumb. It just completely stops progression.
I don't remember how it does that. Like, I never had that issue. I was always at full force before leaving the level.
I would love to own these, or like I wouldn't care to own. I own 4 swords digitally, but like, if I ever see this game more than like $30 or $40, I'm not buying it.
Well, no, you'd be buying A Link to the Past on the Game Boy.
4 Swords Adventures on GameCube. I mean.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because if you're buying 4 Swords on Game Boy Advance, you're buying it for Link to the Past. Yeah. You're not buying it for 4 Swords.
I own 4 Swords digitally, but like if I ever see 4 Swords Adventures, like physically, if they're charging like a pretty penny for it.
Oh, they're gonna be charging for it because
it's like. But I would think in my head like this game's not worth that much.
That's the second best GameCube Zelda. The second best GameCube Zelda.
What's the first?
Obviously, Wind Waker.
Well, yeah, because Twilight Princess is on the Wii.
And that's the second best Wii Zelda.
I would disagree, but we'll talk about that in 2 weeks.
Okay, so you want to throw numbers at these?
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to rank this. I would give 4 Swords vanilla. I don't know, 5.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
It's mediocre.
It's hard to say anything bad about it, but it's also hard to say anything good about it.
And I would give 4 Swords Adventures a 6 because it's slightly better and it has more boss variety, and it adds somewhat more plot to the game.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7 because like outside of Village of the Blue Maiden, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to choose a top-down Zelda, or a 2D top-down Zelda to play, it'd probably be Four Swords Adventures.
If I had to pick out of all 3 of the multiplayer Zeldas to play with friends, it would be Four Swords Adventures.
Yeah, that's probably the best assessment of it.
And that's coming from somebody who hasn't played Triforce Heroes.
Yeah, so here's the thing about Triforce Heroes. We'll get to it in a few weeks. Alright, so we're looking at a 10 out of 20 and a 13 out of 20.
Damn.
I mean, it's not the lowest.
I know.
And it's not the highest. We like vanilla Four Swords more than Zelda 2, apparently.
Yeah.
But, we also like it more than the CDI games, obviously.
Well, yeah, everybody just loves the CDI Zeldas.
Alright, so... Four Swords.
That's Four Swords. Thank you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.